All the walls are stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his stand plays many parts.
His acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like a pard, jealous in honour, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation.
My name is Victor Omololu Sowemimo Olunloyo.
The earliest I can remember my life is what I have been told by my parents and other relations. Omololu,
That is my humble self,
was born on 14th of April 1935. I was the eldest child of both my father and my mother. My mother tells me I was born on a Sunday evening. One is scarcely conscious of the beginning and the end. No man is conscious of the moment he's born, and we can't say what happens upon death. One is there as if he is not there, and the other one probably is not in the ceremony.
indeed.
The journey of every man is brief. It's a brief one from the womb to the tomb. Anonymous.
One of the most significant gifts I received at birth were my names, Victor Omololu Sowemimo, and my Islamic Muslim name, Abdulhakim. The name was bestowed upon me during my naming ceremony by Imam Sadiku Folorunsho, a revered scholar who would later ascend to the position of Chief Imam of Ibadan. In the Quran, Abdulhakim is associated with a man of profound knowledge and wisdom, a name that stayed with me as a symbol of aspiration and purpose. It was my privilege and good fortune to have been born into the illustrious Olunloyo family, a clan whose story is well documented in many notable writings and historical pieces like Johnson's The History of the Yorubas, published in 1897, Olunloyo by Archdeacon S.A. Banjo, and Iwe Itan Ibadan by Oba I.B. Akinyele. The role played by my family in accepting, nurturing and spreading Christianity and Western education in Ibadan and the greater Yoruba land is a source of pride. Even as a child, I was said to have been precocious, demonstrating unusual abilities that often astonished those around me. I remember fondly the love of my father, Horatio. The many sides of Horatio's life can be aptly and briefly described: schoolmaster, scholar, musician, civil servant, trade unionist, churchman, and a true and sincere friend. He was the first man in Ibadan to successfully tackle the London matriculation examination, which was highly rated in those days. Horatio died on the 29th of December 1948 at the age of 42, having lived a full life. And the love of my mother, Tejumola Abebi Olunloyo, who was an animist and later a Muslim. She died aged 102 in October 2013. My mother had no form of Western education, but she was influential, some would say mysterious, very witty and poignant. And the love of many, siblings, members of the extended family, and neighbours. After returning with my father, who was on official transfer, from a few months' sojourn in Enugu, that, by the way, was a trip that birthed my deep understanding and love for the Igbo people of Nigeria. More of this in my coming autobiography. I was enrolled at the Holy Trinity School, Ebuteiro, in 1939, due to the Lagos siege occasioned by the Second World War. I was transferred to Methodist School, Ologbowo, a year later. The Lagos siege continued, and for that reason, and the breakdown of my parents' marriage, I was sent from Lagos to Ibadan in that same year to continue my primary school education at St. Peter's Primary School, Aremo, where my great-uncle Akinbeyi Olunloyo was the head teacher between 1941 and 1946. Upon my uncle's transfer, I followed him to Bogon, where he enrolled me at St. Paul's Primary School, Bogon. It was there I took the Common Entrance Examinations in 1946 and in 1947. I came first both years throughout the entire Ibadan District Church Council, extending to as far as Iwo, Ikirun, Oshogbo, etc. Thus, my primary school education came to a glorious end after I had gone through 4 schools. In 1948, after a rigorous process, I was admitted to the Great Government College, Ibadan. My GCI number was 546. Government College was where the seed for my great academic achievements was nurtured. I came in from Standard 5 and had to struggle bitterly in algebra, geometry and arithmetic because I missed whole parts of the subjects that were taught in Standard 6. This was redeemed after my father Horatio bought me the Durrell series on his deathbed and some serious studying. I leapt from 23rd position to 4th. There was no looking back from there till I left GCI as a foremost member of my distinguished set in academics and sports. I was on scholarship throughout my stay in GCI, and I was one of the best ever bowlers to have passed out of the school. A very interesting feat of the cricket team in my time was beating the King's College Lagos team home and away in 1952, after they had beaten us 5 years in a row between 1947 and 1951. Some of the fondest memories of my life were created at GCI alongside my classmates like Akinkugbe, Awoshika, with whom I made a bomb in the chemistry lab, Bankole, who became a surgeon and the first Nigerian to successfully separate Siamese twins, and many more. So also Emmanuel Lalekon Are, GCI 514, proprietor Kakanfo in Ibadan, Professor S.B. Lagundoye, GCI 536, renowned academic and researcher in the field of medicine and radiology, and author of A Son of Two Mothers, and Ifedayo Oladapo, GCI 542, the man who designed the Lagos Third Mainland Bridge. By 1953, I had gained admission into the University of Ibadan, and by December of the same year, I had passed the Inter-BSc program in 3 months. It was a program designed to run for 2 years. My stay in UI was facilitated by 2 scholarships, the Western Regional Government Scholarship and the Production Board Scholarship. It was also at this time that Pa Alayonde offered me a job to teach mathematics and additional mathematics at the Ibadan Grammar School, where he was then the principal. Pa Alayonde and Shoyele were instrumental to my winning the earlier stated scholarships. In 1954, I passed my Cambridge Overseas Higher School certificate in flying colours and got exempted from the intermediate degree of the University of London for which I was being prepared. In June of 1958, I graduated with a first-class honours degree in mechanical engineering. I was awarded the final year and honours year's mechanical engineering medals and also mathematics class medals in each of the 1955 to 56, 56 to 57, and 57 to 58 sessions. Curiously, I once scored 132 out of 100% in an examination. Look out for more on that and other stories in my forthcoming autobiography. In 1958, I was also awarded the British Association 1939 Prize for the most distinguished student in the Faculty of Science in Queen's College, University of St Andrews. This prestigious award had eluded the university for 11 years, but I was able to bring it back to St Andrews. My exceptional performance led to my transfer from mechanical engineering to applied science, where I continued to break records. I was awarded 5 gold medals out of a possible 6, and it was during this time that I received an invitation to Buckingham Palace, where I was honoured by the Queen herself. Due to my exceptional brilliance and flair for mathematics, I was exempted from the BSc and MSc in mathematics and went straight ahead to do my PhD in mathematics at the same university. I completed my PhD in 2 years with my thesis on the numerical determination of the solutions of eigenvalue problems of the Sturm-Liouville type, and I broke many new academic grounds. My time at St Andrews was memorable and heavily laden with laurels, medals, and honours. On the 1st of February 1961, I joined the University of Ibadan as an assistant lecturer and was promoted by May the 5th of the same year. It was a significant step in my academic career, and over the next 4 years, I worked hard to earn the rank of lecturer grade 1. My determination didn't stop there. I applied for a higher post as senior lecturer, and much to my delight, I was appointed. It was a moment of triumph, especially considering the challenges that had been laid before me. At that time, the University College Ibadan had no faculty of engineering, so I taught mathematics, logic, and abstract algebra. I would later transfer my services to the University of Ife for a few years and subsequently come back to Ibadan. Some of my most notable students were Ajibola Ogunshola of Punch fame, Pastor W.F. Kumi of the Deeper Life Bible Church, the former Inspector General of Police Sunday Ayindero, and Olulayinka, the first female Quran-registered engineer in Nigeria, who would later marry engineer Vincent Maduka, the first Director General of the NTA. I also taught the late Major General Omojokun, the former NYSC Director General, Tercel from Plateau, and Adigboju from Ogbomoso. From available records, I also taught at least 4 people who worked for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration of the United States, NASA. I am very proud of all my students. My first call to public service was my appointment as the first ever Commissioner for Economic Planning and Community Development in the then Western State, with the immediate task of conducting the 1963 census. Unfortunately, the result of the census was cancelled because it dispelled some wrong notion of population spread among the ethnic and geographical demarcations of Nigeria. I also had a brief stint as Commissioner for Special Duties in 1967. Next was my service at the Ministry of Education from late 1967 to 1969 and part of 1970. By the 1st of January 1971, I was given 2 portfolios: Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs and Commissioner for Education in the old Oyo State. I consider my service in the Ministry of Education as my magnus opus because of the many revolutionary reforms and achievements on that beat. As Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, I resolved the long-standing dispute on the appointment of Alaafin Lamidi Adeyemi. Similar feats were achieved regarding respective Obas in Ife, Modakeke, Ogbomoso, Ikere, Ilaramoki, and Ibaraoke. as well as in respect of Baloguns in Ijebu-Ode, Idore, and Owu. My next public assignment took me to the Property Development Corporation of Oyo State, where I was appointed chairman in 1978. This was a period of dynamic changes and opportunities, and I was eager to contribute to the state's development in a meaningful way. One of the most notable projects during my tenure was the Agbowoge Shopping Complex, a large commercial development that began with little more than a foundation. The Agbowoge Shopping Complex was one of the first major developments in Oyo State, and it stood as a symbol of progress. Under my leadership of the Property Development Corporation of Oyo State, the corporation was responsible for building and selling residential homes, including bungalows in Alabiamo and Agberi streets, as well as in Old Bodija. Thereafter, I superintended the Ajoda Town Development Corporation as chairman, where I continued to apply my skills in property management and urban planning. I served briefly in quick succession as the pioneer rector of the Polytechnic Ibadan and the Kwara State Polytechnic. The vision behind founding the Polytechnic Ibadan was to establish a modern, specialized institution that would not only foster theoretical knowledge, but more importantly, equip students with practical skills that could directly contribute to the nation's industrial and technological development. The Polytechnic was to not only provide skilled workers for industries like shipbuilding, aviation and manufacturing, but would also give rise to specialists, technicians and craftsmen who could create and maintain the tools and machines that would drive Nigeria's development. To underscore this vision, as pioneer rector, I built the road linking the north and the south campus of the Ibadan Polytechnic in just one day, using our in-house staff, materials, and hands. My appointment as Executive Secretary of the National Science and Technology Development Agency, NSTDA, from 1978 to 1979 marked the beginning of another significant chapter in my journey, a time when I continued to push for reforms and advancements in Nigeria's educational and scientific sectors. In 1983, I contested for and won the coveted seat as the Chief Executive of Oyo State in an election whose effect reverberated across the entire country, Nigeria. I was poised to deliver my lofty ideals in education, social, economic and infrastructural development of a dimension never seen before in the political annals of Nigeria. Alas, the military coup of 1983 truncated that ambition. Across my public career, I also served in various other positions, including as member of the National Defense Committee of the National Constitutional Conference 1994 to 1995 and member of the Transition Implementation Committee 1995 to 1998. I additionally served as board member, including ex officio of over 40 federal and state parastatals, board member of each wholly owned WNDC company in the then Western State, as well as board member of all 22 national research institutes throughout Nigeria between 1978 to 1980. I was a foundation member of the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPSS Kuru, and the Nigerian National Merit Award Board of Trustees. Moreover, I was a member of the Western State Scholarship Board, Federal Scholarship Board, Continuation Committee Rehovot Conference in Israel, Commonwealth Scholarship Panel, Commonwealth Science Council, Chief Examiner in WAEC for Additional Maths, External Examiner at University of Ghana, Legon, as well as the University of Benin, Nigeria, all between 1963 and 1976. As a private citizen, I was a member of COREN, the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, the Nigerian Society of Engineers, a Fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Science and Technology, member of the Edinburgh Mathematics Society, American Mathematics Society, and the Mathematics Association of Nigeria, In my quest to contribute to the practical development of the engineering profession and entrepreneurship, I established some standalone business concerns on one hand, while also engaging in some partnerships. I was Chief Executive of Design Tech Associates, an engineering consultancy firm, as well as Managing Director of Lacta Enterprises Nigeria Limited. I was the Bobajiro of Ibadan, of my native land, Bobashewa of Ile-Ife, Amuludun of Omo-Ekiti, and Obateru of Idore. I was also the Balogun of Oyo Empire. These chieftaincy titles were my people's way of showing appreciation of my contribution to the dignity of traditional institutions across Yoruba land. In the year 2000, and in recognition of my contributions to the educational and social development of Nigeria, I was conferred with the prestigious National Award in the category of Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON. In my lifetime, I was blessed with a remarkable family, including many accomplished children who have excelled in various spheres of human endeavor globally. Beyond my publicly acknowledged hobbies, classical music and fine wine, I also devoted much of my spare time to horticulture and photography, both of which brought me great peace and joy. You will find in my soon-to-be-released autobiography many interesting episodes of my life, my encounters, my altruistic interventions on critical national matters, as well as my thoughts on war, peace, Christianity, music, mathematics, and many more. I hope you enjoy reading it.
A former governor of Oyo State,
Dr. Victor Omololu Olunloyo, has died at the age of 89, just days before what would have been his 90th birthday.
He died at exactly 1:40 a.m. in a private hospital after a brief illness.
We have to look at ordinary men and professionals. We have to look for people of conscience. A few can be found in the military. Some can be found in the civilian fold. Some can be found in the ivory tower. Some can be found in the ordinary marketplace. Some of the greatest men in England and in Europe have not been university dons. Harold Wilson was took a first class honors degree in Oxford in economics. John Major had only O levels. Sonny Jim Callahan, a very pleasant man, as pleasant as men ever come. Winston Churchill did not even have O levels. I tell you on authority that he repeated Form 3 times in Harrow and then dropped out. And yet he wrote 6 volumes of about 500 pages each.
Last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
William Shakespeare has realized it.
Adieu, my friends. Adieu.